Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogue Sun podcast. This is a podcast about the Rogue Sun comic book series by Ryan Parrott and Abel. It's funny because I almost said Radiant Black, but I did say Rogue Sun. Today we're talking the end of the third arc. I'm your host Bash, and I'm joined by my friends and my fellow hosts Matt and Charlie. How's everyone doing today?
Great. This has been a volume about possession, and on our parts, there's a lot of obsession because it's been fucking amazing. And Ryan stuck the landing, the superhero landing, if you will. And I'm pumped to talk more about it after we interviewed Ryan, and now here we're to talk about it in depth. So yeah, let's go. What about you,
Yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah, definitely in the Rogue Sun mood right now after our talk last night. So yeah, it's been great. Flip back through some old issues, but no, it's been good. Like you said, yeah, he nailed the ending. Can't wait to get into this action packed. Like he had a lot to juggle, but it was great. So yeah, I'm doing well. Can't wait to get into it. How are you doing, Bash?
Good. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this issue. End of the third arc, ladies and gentlemen. And just spoiler alert for those wondering if this is the end, it is not. We already confirmed, which you probably see drop before this episode, our discussion with Ryan Parrott, aka co-creator and writer of Rogue Sun. And he confirmed that he's working on issue 19, another concept issue where it's a spoiler alert, a pop-up book. So I'm very excited for that. And we've got at least two more arcs, and that's just what he's had planned right now. And he says he's going to keep going as long as we're enjoying it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to add the title to your pull list. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets, tell everybody. Let's get a rogue pup up in here, okay? Let's do it. Let's get some. Let's get some animals up. I mean, you never know. He said there's other Rogue Sons, and you never know. I'm just saying. We're talking about the writer of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So.
Yeah, exactly. And for newer listeners, if you're just joining us with this episode or recent ones, we cover Rogue Sun with full spoilers, and we're up to issue 18. And if you're just joining, you can get all the Massiveverse books for under $25 US with Humble bundles. So definitely check that out. It's the easiest way to own these books and to support the people giving us these great stories. So yeah, and full spoilers going forward. So pick up the book, read the book, and join the pod.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. So we've got the cover for issue 18 right here, and this is and a gorgeous cover by Luana Vecchio. So
Yeah.
curious to see whether she
A
stays
lot of
on.
people were talking. A lot of people were talking
Yeah.
about this one specifically. Kind of. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of feels like a new day or like a new age or something. Like it feels like the end of an arc or like kind of the beginning of a new one. Just kind of
A new
him.
dawn, some would say.
Yeah, new dawn. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
incredible. It really is.
Yeah, it makes me think of the like the volume 1 Radiant Black cover. I think it's like originally like a cover
Yep.
2 variant, if not one. And it's like obviously we got the orange, more Rogue Sun colors. The clouds look amazing on this, and it's just like it's great. And you have just what Rogue Sun is that, right? It's almost like the Radiant Black thing. Like who is that? Could that be Caleb? Could that? I assume it's Dylan, but also who's possessing him, right? Like with these
That's a good
characters,
point.
it's weird. It doesn't feel like we're retreading Radiant Black or stepping on their feet, but it's like a whole different thing. And that's what I love about this. It's like it's ambiguous, you know. We found out that Ryan worked a bad robot, and like I love that JJ storytelling that gets a bunch of shit of like the speculating, where like the threads are so good that you can almost like tie it up yourself and think of your own kind of story. But the stuff that's concrete is great too. So it's a good balance of that in the Massiveverse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well said. Great creative team on this issue, of course. Ryan Parrott, writer, artist Abel, and the incredible Abel, and colors by Natalia Marquez and Becca Carey on letters, of course. So let's dive into this issue.
Yeah. So I guess
We
we are
obviously,
back to one artist, right? We are back to one
yeah.
artist. I assume so. Yeah.
He
So
said I think he said Marco Rena might be doing some more stuff like coming
okay,
up,
that's cool.
but
I
like
guess because they're
this
out of the
arc.
Sunstone now. That was kind of the
Mm.
differentiating, right? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of out of there now. So yeah, I like how it was a story purpose too to that. And yeah, we were talking about how well that fit and how
Mhm.
well it made those scenes in the Sunstone just that much better. So yeah, it is kind of cool. Just back to Abel, kind of back to the classics, back to basics. Beginning of Rogue Sun. So
Exactly.
yeah, cool to see.
Yeah. We're not gonna show all the pages because buy the book, but we'll show some of the pages, the boring ones. So we go through it. Last issue, we ended the issue with a big reveal, which is kind of the molting away of the Rogue Sun armor when Marcus makes a return. So this issue we see early on, obviously the whole gang is still in the middle of the battle, but one thing we can always focus on is how cool the molten suit is right here, as Sharon is yet again the butt end of another joke.
Man, yeah, he's come up like 3 times, and every time he just says something, he's just instantly beat up. So yeah, he's pretty funny. But I remember when he first came up, he's just the most. They're all such cool looks, but he's definitely the most dull looking character. Like he just, I don't know, he's just kind of there. So I'm a fan of him though. I like him. He has his place.
Yeah, and we're wasting not even a single panel here. We're getting right to the action. There's no previously on or like showing his entry. It's like boom, he's right here because Ryan uses every freaking panel in here, and he does a lot in this issue. We're balancing 5 characters, but that's five other characters with the rest of our ensemble cast elsewhere. So I think that this was masterfully done. Like he weaved this well. You wouldn't believe that Ryan, it was a bit of a tumultuous time outside the book, but you wouldn't know with the way that this is written. He's just freaking nailing it. And it's the reason we love these series because it's the strongest ensemble cast in the Massiveverse. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's a hot take or anything like that, and it continues to be so with this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get our duo here too. Our favorite duo back, Billy and Brock. They've just been so awesome. And yeah, I think it was last issue I missed where he got that tip, and now he's just running circles around people. He's just flying. He's going everywhere. So yeah, it's good to see him just enjoying his time as a werewolf vampire.
Exactly.
yeah. Nice little father-son moment here as Brock recognizes that it's Marcus under the helmet. So really cool. I mean, at least in some sense, it's Marcus. So really cool moment there. And in the page right after this, it's cool because we see Caleb have a little moment between him and Dottie. Dottie, of course, in the Hellbent power, because from last issue, everyone's using the powers of the villains that were in the trapped in the jewels. So one thing I really like about this moment is you get to really see what kind of character like Caleb is. And it's like, while I understand he's committed to his cause, he does kind of like run away. You know what I mean? So he
He is
just
a
flies
coward.
off.
He is a coward, just like Dottie says. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he just goes away, and yeah, Dottie in the hellbent costume, and just their dynamic is so cool. Her just kind of being the kind of pseudo therapist of all these people. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think Dottie was a little underserved in this issue. She didn't get like a ton to do. She has dialogue, but it's
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
it's
that's
yeah.
fair.
I don't think that that's like a major issue because Dottie's had it quite a bit. Well, not like quite a bit, but yeah, you're balancing a lot. And I feel like Dottie was the one who
Yeah.
suffers the most from all you have to do in this issue. But again, she's still a pretty great character.
Yeah, I don't know if we have questions. I guess we still got to hear about like Perrine, like if they're going to build a new one, or if she's going to build a new kind of prison, or just a new store. So yeah, hopefully early next arc.
My suggestion: let's get a bowling alley going with the villains and the pins. Let's go. Come on, that'd be pretty chill.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So yeah, finally reunited the family. There's a very brief moment amidst all the action, of course, because you see Lord Viathan, you see Ori's like in the Demonica's power set with Juliet in the Cataclysm's power set, and they're trying to fight off the rest of the foes. It's just a big mess. I love that Brock calls Lord Viathan King Sushi. He's just like, shut up, King Sushi. So love it, love that. One thing that I think is really cool about this page is that like you can almost sometimes see the the tropiness being addressed in a funny way, which I find clever and entertaining. Where here you see Dottie say, they're asking like, how's it Marcus under there, and he doesn't know how to respond, and that's where she's like, this isn't the time or place for an expo dump. I'll deal with these assholes. It's just like,
yeah, that was good. Very self-awareness.
Yeah.
Always.
No time.
Yeah,
for
no, that's great. And I want to ask you guys, it actually like wasn't over the top, but these next couple pages coming on, would you guys say this was the like most brutal or the most like gory issue that Rogue Sun has had? Like I just think these last couple pages, I'm just looking at one of these pages. We see a head flying, Brock ripping off someone's arm, and then he
he's
throws
like, there's
someone
blood
into a
everywhere.
post and rips him in half. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I don't think we've seen that much like even
Look,
blood
look,
like
look,
really in the
look. No,
series.
no, no. Look, I'll tell you, you're already right because you know it's the goriest issue when Byron's getting in on the action. Okay, when Byron's
That's also,
slamming
yeah.
zombies down with
That's
doors
also,
and shit, when
Yeah.
he's
that's
going
also
full
fair.
Walking Dead, like you know this is the goriest
And
issue.
you have the
This is
excuse also with the zombies, right? Like they're not real
Yeah,
people
it's
alive.
tainted. It's
They're
tainted
zombies.
flesh, like they said.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's a kid. He's a kid too. It's just like he's freaking out in the moment. There's some asshole named Reverend Death's coming at you with an army. Like it's pure impulse, right? I mean, it's good impulse. Then I'm sure he scored a lot of points with I forget her name, the girl he's in trying to impress. That is
Oh
slightly
yeah,
older than him. Yeah. So
trying
I
to. I'm
do
pretty
like.
sure he did in this
Oh
issue.
yeah, I do love this story. I do love that Ryan threw that in there because honestly, it's the little things, and that was one of the little things that I personally really enjoyed. It
Yeah,
was a nice. It's also a nice way to show what's happening with Reverend Death, like with
Yeah.
his part of the invasion and everything.
yeah.
Uh, I gotta say those, Matt already covered our ass, so we're good on spoilers. I did not see like Reverend Death coming, so like I didn't think he was gonna die in this issue. I knew someone had to die, like one of the villains, but
But
damn, was it an earned death? Yeah.
but I mean, he controls zombies. I don't think this is the last time. I feel like if
Yes.
anyone's gonna come
Yeah.
back,
I
it's
was gonna
Reverend Death.
say. Yeah. I'm curious what
True.
happens to these kind of like what happens to these villains. Do they have their own separate realms, or do they die and their spirits go to the Crystal Menagerie,
Yeah,
or kind of what's going
I
on there?
yeah. I feel like the Unholy Father or like Abraham Morgenstern will send him back up or something. Who knows? But I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love and like Reverend. It was almost like a side thing. It was weird going back to it because I almost forgot about the zombies because I didn't go back and read 17. It's been a while. Like I knew there were zombies, but I almost forgot Reverend Death's name because we are juggling a ton of villains. But I'm not going to forget it next time. Reverend Death is quite the name.
Yeah, no, it is. It is great. Yeah, lots of heads popping off here, and it kind of while we get this, the white we obviously get Caleb. Caleb's fighting Marcus and Dylan versus kind of against him, and it's such a cool fight. But I was honestly surprised how like even with the white suit, like we thought he kind of hit that extra level. He's still getting kind of the crap kicked out of him by Caleb. Like Caleb's got some stuff up his sleeve for sure. So I was pretty impressed with that. Were you guys surprised by that at all? Or oh, you're muted,
Um,
Bash.
I was surprised by that, but then I realized Caleb's probably like he was watching from inside the stone for so long, and he has this like obsession with being like the rogue son. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like it makes sense given and
Yeah.
his expertise as well. Like he sticks to his guns. He sticks to what he knows, and what he knows is swords. Being like a former like wannabe knight, so he knows how to wield the sword, and you see that a lot in this issue. Like he like destroys them when he gets the fiery sword out, right? So he's also like just a smart, calculated man. But
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That
more
page
pragmatic.
though was epic. That one page was pretty cool with all of them just coming into action there. Yeah,
Yeah, and I can relate to Dylan here because like I think it's pretty stressful to have both of my divorced parents in the same room together, let alone possessing the bodies of like supernatural beings. So I like that representation there. But yeah, that was great. And the element, like we talked to Ryan about this, he said it was one of his favorite ones to write for is the duo of Gwen and Juliet, which was so fucking cool. And like I didn't mean to, like I said, he's writing almost like the low key the best soap opera in our interview. But he really is like I really dig that drama and it's so personal and you get it. Like imagine that like there's so many characters just waiting in this series, like in the stone or whatever kind of gem they're trapped in, or just waiting to pounce. Just even like Brock and Ori were waiting to get the stone from Dylan. Right? There's so many characters lying in wait here in just 18 issues, and it doesn't feel like repetitive. Like the motivations are all so pure, and they make sense, right? Like it would be brutal to see you lose your kid, and people get jealous enough when like there's step parents involved when you're still alive, let alone watching from a stone after giving up everything. So like that drama is freaking rich. Like it's really there's a lot there, and I'm glad Ryan's displayed it the way he has.
Yeah, I think in the next page too, like I thought it was kind of cool. We talked about a bit of this with Ryan, but just seeing Dylan in the back seat a little as well now, kind of reverse roles here, and just hearing him a little impressed actually with his dad. He had some little cool banter, like he was just talking a little crap with the villains and stuff, and he just didn't know he was kind of about that. So I thought that was kind of cool. He has kind of a a new respect for his dad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, he wanted to
Big
fight.
fight, right? Like big family fight right now. At least for the first time, we see like a united like Seagull front, and with Dylan kind of embraced as one of them. Really, the weirdest part for me about this is not the weirdest. Like one of the most interesting parts is like the next page. You're obviously seeing them spread a little thin, with each one being occupied with a certain villain, and you see Caleb show up out of nowhere, with his freaking flaming sword, and he's taking the fight to the rest of them, straight to Marcus. And one thing I find incredible about this is that Marcus is an experienced rogue son, arguably the best one. And yeah, there's a whole weird like body situation between Marcus and Dylan right now. But did you guys see how easy it was for Caleb to like conjure the black fire? Like he's just like
I was
popping
just gonna say
fast.
that.
Yeah.
No sweat, no sweat. Like I
Nope.
think it knocked Dylan out. Like he like passed out after he was just drained. So yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, I was honestly I was surprised. Like I guess like they're so like with the two of them, like it makes the white armor, they're so like it's so hot, but even still with them, they're unable to conjure a sword, or they're kind of unable to do these skillful things that Caleb was able to do, even though they seem to kind of hit that higher peak. But they just kind of don't have that finesse yet, I guess, with the powers, or maybe they're still kind of fighting for it too. So I'm sure if Marcus had full control, he might be able to, but it's kind of hard with
Yeah.
Dylan fighting over there. But yeah, that was pretty crazy for sure. Yeah, lots going on. And yeah, what do you think about this battle for the body?
Yeah.
You
I
got the
mean,
battle.
the one on screen.
What's that?
Just
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one too. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about this one first. Yeah. This was insane. Like he literally just the shot. Like he gets stabbed. Like Caleb stabs him through the chest. Just seeing the souls kind of spill out of that body was absolutely insane. And I was worried. I was worried a little bit here. Like yeah, he definitely looks like he's got the upper hand. And yeah, he's just straight up better than them right now. So yeah, it's kind of tough.
yeah, I was going to ask you guys after we've finished talking about the issue, but like how do you guys rank Caleb among the Rogue Sun villains? For me, he's pretty high up there because he's got a good plan. It's interesting. There's a lot of
You would
Yeah.
I would think you would be like I would think like maybe Morningstar like will become that, but
yeah.
as of right now, I would say
I think
Caleb's
he's the best
probably
one.
the best. Yeah, the best. Like
Yeah.
Hellbent for me was probably up there, but this like is way surpassed that in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
he was in his body, like he took his body, like yeah, it was a
Yeah.
pretty personal for him
Yeah.
too.
It took a lot to beat him, right? It took like what, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 humans plus supernatural abilities to, and their spirits to help them. And early on, with the way he tricked them, like his plan was so smart. And like he's a smart villain, and he doesn't really do too much trophy stuff. Like he ran away and then he came back and like cut him. Like he got the what is it? The parting shot of like the dirty move on it. Like he's smart and he's got this sense of
Yeah.
honor. Like I think he's really well done. And
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Ryan likened him to a dark Jedi, and
Mhm.
like what's the guy from the Ahsoka show? I forget his name. The little
Oh,
Balin,
It's
yeah,
Balin.
Balin something,
Yeah.
Lord Balin something.
Balin
Yeah,
Skull.
he reminds me of him a little bit, to be honest, in a good way.
Yeah.
Caleb, I think is an even better take on that kind of
Yeah.
character because he makes it really personal. You know what I mean?
Or like a less evil
Yeah.
Dooku or something. Yeah.
And he's like hitting on his girl. He's like he has weird, creepy, like sexual plans for Ori. The way he talks about it, like making her his queen and shit. Like I don't know, man. He's just a creep, like in every way. And you can see, like I was even rereading the beginning of the arc in that first issue, like 13 or 14, when like Demonic is beating the shit out of him, and then like Dylan just starts helping her, and he's like, "Oh, do this, like dodge this, like put suck his thing from like the chest, like get the stone."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, it's called the stone," and it's like. So I thought that was really interesting, and it was really satisfying, watching him get his due later on in this issue. But one thing I glossed over with these pages is that something I think Charlie want to bring up is something big happens, of course. So in the midst of this chaos of this battle, where someone has a big choice to make. It's like almost the telltale element of this issue in particular, right? Which I think was handled amazingly. And that choice is a mother trying to save her children, because we see that Billy, Brock, under Billy's powers, is occupied in real danger. He's about to die. And so that's when Juliet, kind of like the devil, like whispers into Gwen, like the devil whispers into Juliet's ear, and she's like, "What are you gonna do? Like, this is an important moment." And that's where Juliet literally just lets like the green flames go wild, and she just
Yeah.
consumes Reverend Death. He's gone. He's like literally brittle ashes and bone. That was a huge moment for this issue. What did you guys think of that?
In talking about it now, it's interesting because I don't think I thought too much about where this is going to go with Juliet, other than the dynamic, or with Gwen, other than the dynamic with Juliet. But seeing as how this is the same power that corrupted Juliet, right? Before, wait, Juliet's the mom of Dylan, right?
Or
And
yeah,
Gwen
Gwen.
is the stepmom.
Yeah, Gwen. Yeah, or
No,
Gwen's
Gwen's the
the
mom.
mom of Dylan.
Juliet's the stepmom. Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
Gwen's
cool.
the
I
mom of
thought
Dylan.
it's confusing because like he
Yeah.
picked the
Yeah.
three, like. Anyways, so Gwen as the stepmom, right? Right, Gwen's stepmom. Did I just forget
Juliet's
what
the
it?
stepmom.
Juliet's the stepmom.
Juliet's stepmom. Okay,
Yeah.
Juliet's stepmom. Anyways, seeing Juliet like as getting influenced by this power that also got Dylan's mom, right? So it's like this is the same power, and she's used it, and it benefited them, right? You're using this dark power, the Cataclysm power that Morningstar used to sway, Dylan's mom, and now his stepmom. It could fall to the same power, let alone the other drama of knowing someone's coming to get you. So you almost might be more interested in dabbling in the dark arts. Instead of playing more defense, you might go and do some offense, knowing that there's threats coming for her.
That is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. That's interesting. And I'm curious. We know Ari has some kind of side effects from this. We'll talk about later, but I'm curious if like anyone else will. And obviously Morningstar, like it was a big thing that she had to tempt people and actually get them to accept the power to be able to corrupt their soul. And this way they're kind of just like using their power. So yeah, maybe they could kind of get in that way. But yeah, I wonder if like even Brock will have some side effects, or like if any of them will. Cause
Yeah.
you would think so. Like that's a lot of power just a normal body's harnessing, but it's magic. So who knows?
Yeah. And so all while this is happening, I think we see another character make a very important choice, another family member. Ori decides that she has to make up for what she did, which is let Dylan get possessed in the first place, open himself to that vulnerability. And she does that. She grabs Caleb using Demonica's powers, and she literally drinks him.
Yeah.
She like sucks him in, just like slurps him up. Yeah.
Or he
So,
used Dream Eater. It's super effective. Like his face is so visceral, right? Like I know it's probably not the last we see of Caleb, but like look at his face, and he's like, "No, I have so much more to do." Like the ego, and he was making changes. Like he just wants to make change because he's watching everything not change, stay the same. All of this cyclical failures of these, all these nights in the past, and he's like, "No," like he could feel it, almost had it. And this is almost his battle, and he's probably going to use that bitterness maybe to corrupt Ori going forward. Like that's super interesting to see where that goes to.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really
that's
interesting.
crazy. It's also it was cool for me to see this power back. Like this was the first, like obviously the first time we saw Demonica. I think issue 4. She was going through the graveyard, just drinking people's soul, whoever she could find. Like she was just drinking everyone's soul, trying to get the stuff. So yeah, it was cool seeing her like seeing her back in this like place and just kind of taunting Ari the whole time. Like from the first page, like she was like, "Oh, you got to drink a soul." Like, and I'm curious. Also, we know Caleb's gonna affect, but like, is she gonna like crave blood after, or like crave souls, or like is her power gone now? So like that's gone. But yeah,
We
that
saw her
could
asking
that
with
could
the
be a little
zombies, like if I drain these souls, am I going to get stronger? It's like, no, these are tainted. So she already knows that, and she was already talking about souls before she even got one. And now that she has,
no, but I
one,
mean,
unless,
like once her powers go away, will she still be craving people? That could be a little concerning. I hope not.
Brock still
I
wants
hope
to
not
fly.
for her. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's so true.
Love the half helmet here, like the sucking effect, like removing him forcefully from the armor. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is an intense issue, obviously, but as we see in this next moment, in this next page, Ryan told us about how he wanted to make this a longer, a whole page about conversation between her and her father Marcus, but we couldn't make it work. So, check out our interview. We just talk about it in greater detail. But in the next page, we see Marcus hurl himself. He tries to hurl himself at the spirit, right? That takes all of them. But even then, like this just shows you how powerful he is. He still somehow finds himself back in the armor. He's just
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in the armor, and he's just like, nope, like
Yeah.
let's go. That's where I'm just like, okay, like this guy is, you know what I mean? Like he's a special kind of like fuck you, like Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it took all of that uh, from Ori to save the day. So it took all of them really, and that's when we cut to a different page. We see that Dylan wakes up from a sleep, clearly recovering from the battle. He wakes up and he sees the entire family. He sees Marcus,
Yeah.
Juliet,
Actually, from
Ori.
this page, I thought, and I didn't see Gwen behind there, but I thought Marcos was alive after this. Like I thought he was
Oh
back
yeah,
and all
yeah,
good in
Yeah.
his own body. I was like, shit. Like I
yeah.
just realized that actually today, like reading it a second time. I'm like, oh damn, like he's not actually here. It's
Yeah.
just spirit. So
Mhm.
It's
yeah,
just the
cool.
what's her name? Not Vampironica, which is what I want. Demonica. It's
Mhm.
Demonica who gives yeah, Ari the ability to see the souls in the other bodies, which is a nice touch so that they connect. It's like
Yeah.
a Hurley and
Yeah.
Lost move or something like that, which I like. But it gives you that tender moment, like because the kids haven't seen their dad since he passed in
Mhm.
the first issue, right? So it's nice for them to get to see him and get to connect with him, which is what they were really dying to do. Literally, this whole situation started because they wanted to get the Sunstone, or they wanted to release Caleb. So it's really interesting, and I think it was smart to let Ori be the one to finish it off. But also, she still suffers the consequences because that soul is not away, not gone yet. So
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. The next three pages are really interesting because they basically tie the loose ends of three different characters. In the first page, you get the siblings tying their loose ends. They finally see their powers and they go back to normal form. But obviously, as you guys mentioned earlier, nothing will ever be normal again for Ori. And we're going to see, it's going to be interesting how that plays out over time. I can't wait to see
Or
that.
Brock. It won't be normal for Brock
Brock,
again
yeah.
either. He's upset. He's destroyed here. Poor Brock.
Mhm.
But
He
Do you
lost
think
the
the
wings.
hopefully he'll be back for flight soon enough.
Do you guys think the
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
Blood Moon friendship is going to be good for Brock or bad for Brock as far as like morality and corrupting him?
Either way, I'm interested to see, but because like it could be like if maybe he's learning that he
Good
can play
question.
on his naivety, like maybe what's his name, Billy Blood Moon. Maybe he really did make a friend, but maybe also he realized this is a vulnerability I can expose from the Siegel family and find a way to
Yeah.
leverage this against Rogue Sun. Either way, I'm interested to see whether you know what I mean, whether it goes down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it could go either way, but I like the idea of like them breaking the traditions of like these are like racist asshole werewolves, and even Billy was saying how he's forcing the stuff we learned about the werewolf forced marriage, which is what led to the vampires and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on there, and it doesn't feel like Billy necessarily wants to go along with those traditions. So like a lot of
Mhm.
things, when there's a lot your upbringing, if meeting outside forces is what causes you to rethink your life and stuff like that. So I think that it could definitely be good for Billy to have some
Yeah.
resources. Not that Brock is he's a bit of a prick. He's a young kid, but like he's not he's not truly gone, or he's not like he's
Yeah.
not that bad. So we'll see.
Yeah. Next page, we see Juliet tie her loose end with Gwen, but it seems like this one's the most interesting one because I feel like this is like watching BTAS. That's how I feel. It's like when you you finally kind of like you feel like the villain's rehabilitating, and then they just go fucking batshit crazy on you again.
Yeah.
They're just like, nope, like just kidding.
Yeah.
And it's just like that was the moment with Gwen where she was just like you showed her true character, which is she's crazy. She's just like actual insanity. And I love the dialogue. I love the way she spun. It really added like a sense of craziness to her, almost like the Joker, like a sense of unpredictability. It's weird. Like she's definitely psychotic. And
Yeah.
I love that like she's like you feel like Juliet's always going to be looking over her shoulder now. Like there's going to be a
Yeah.
paranoia that sticks with her for the rest of the time because it's not so much about her, but it's about her family, right? Like now, like she knows like how to emotionally get to her. So I'm really curious to see if that plays out in the future. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not about if it's going to happen. It's Gwen.
Mhm.
No, but no, but seriously, like that was cold, and I didn't expect that turn from from Gwen. But yeah, she's got to watch. Juliet's got to watch her back definitely, and you can see the turmoil in Dylan. When Dylan's the most rational of his parents and him, like of the three, Dylan is actually like going
Yeah.
forward, but everyone's like lost in the sauce, and it's this endless war of trying to one up each other, or like no, it should be your kid's doing okay, you're doing okay, like you basically it's like a parent being in jail, and it's like as long as your kid's happy, like you've kind of made your mistakes, and you gotta pay for them in your own way. You gotta serve your time, and it sucks that your kid's doing well, but can't you be happy for your child that's succeeding or doing well? No. some people get possessed by wanting it done the right way and their way. It doesn't matter, and people get lost because of their own desires, and they kind of go down dark paths and stuff. So she's not thinking clearly, and that's a very dangerous thing going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to see if that ever plays out, or when, like you said, when. But the final page for in terms of like tying up the loose ends of this arc is the one where we see Marcus and Dylan finally have their conversation. And I really like this because it shows growth on both their ends. Growth on Dylan's part to have the insight to realize that this is like you're running against the wall, right? Like you have to do something more productive. You have to find a more productive means of getting things done. And I think growth on Marcus's part for saying like, okay, like you're right. Like let's try something else, even though he's reluctant. The fact that they're trying something else is showing you that there's progress. So very
it kind of
exciting.
pissed me off, not gonna lie. Like it seems so stubborn. Like really, it's like as long as I can take control, it's like really, man. He's like, all right.
I was with you. Like I thought he would have learned a little bit. Like we heard like him talking about how like he actually like all that stuff, his relationship with his dad, and kind of
you know
like,
what I think?
he missed
I think
them at
they're
the end.
both convinced that they're right. Like their experiences both convince each of them that they're right.
That's
you know what I mean. So they go into it thinking, oh, he must think that like I'm right now
can be a
because he
problem.
saw
That can be a big
right?
problem. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I like that. And no, I like how Marcus like is reminded by Dylan at like or he's reminded by Dylan at like by sorry, the mother. Like Dylan's
that was a
reminded
really
of the
nice
mother.
moment.
That was kind of a good line.
And it's true to life. I've had that thrown at me before. My dad's like, "Oh, you sound just like your mom," and stuff like that. It's like, "Oh, it's all right. You shouldn't have a kid with that person." And I don't know what to tell you.
No, that was cool to see because we haven't seen very much of that up to this point. He's been very, very much his dad most of the time. So yeah, that's cool to see.
Yeah, and we meet.
I'm
with
ready for
Morningstar.
psychotic Dylan.
It felt like kind of I haven't read like very much. You can tell me more, Bash, but this felt like a start of like a Batman arc where like Arkham Asylum's all like was broken out and he's got to go collect up all his rogues in the next arc.
To round up
this is super exciting. It just sets up so much for the next arc. And I believe next. He said next arc, like there's for a couple, there's not going to be like one main villain. So obviously that makes sense. There's going to be a lot of individual villains, them catching rogues. I can't wait for that.
There's so many threads going forward. We might have to do a specific episode, like maybe in April before the return in May, just talking about. I think there's at least like 4 or 5. I think there might be like 5 or 6 different plot points and like laid out stuff that we could be getting to. So it's going to be a busy run, and that's without even talking about Morningwood over here.
Morningstar. Morningstar.
That was great.
They call him that.
Morningstar is. We didn't forget about Morningstar. Ryan didn't forget about Morningstar, and I actually like this build-up. It actually makes it more ominous. Like, because you were thinking like, oh, like you're getting close. Like Morningstar feels like it's too easy, but now it's like, no, like you're kidding me. That was just my pawn. That was like a last-minute convenience thing.
Yeah,
and this setup is really cool. I love the way they have the conversation. How he's just like summoning, like almost like a conference call via fire. Come on, guys! Like, But love that. Love the pose right at the. I love like this kind of superhero pose right here when you're just like flame on, let's go, bitch. And it's just like Dylan's ready. He's done. He's motivated. The resolve is back. It's strong. The morale is high. He's got his body again. You know what I mean? I'm surprised he's not going for Vanessa first. That's what I would do myself. But he's got his body again. You know what I mean? And it's time to put Bashan out of the picture. No, I'm just kidding. It's time to put the bad guys out of the picture. And
who knows? Morningstar could have been behind the porta potty incident and gotten them broken up. We don't even know.
That's like next level cruelty. Ruining his love life. You know what I mean? But
I was actually surprised. Kind of, we saw this stuff like right now. I was glad we saw this right now because, like, in a way, I don't know about you guys. This is something I expect to come in the last couple issues of the arc. Obviously, he's going to be going for his rogues and then to Morningstar after. I'm assuming. So that's kind of setting up even later, but it just gets you hyped for everything in the whole issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he goes there first off track. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we'd get like a face-off around like 24, 25, but knowing how busy the issue is, who knows? And we got a lot going
This
up in the
page,
coming
yeah,
months.
this page even set up more. Yeah, I totally forgot about these. Yeah, set up another 3 or 4 plot, or yeah, 3 plot points here. But yeah, one Bash especially was excited for.
Dude,
Who is it?
Alienator.
Alienator.
Mr.
Alienator on the
Alienator.
left. Yeah, and it looks
Yeah,
like, I think Charlie said Divinity in the middle.
Divinity.
Then on the right, the aviary looks like it's being attacked or invaded.
Looks
So
like is that the Raven Queen dead? There is the Raven Queen
it
dead.
looks like someone's dead. Like
Is the
maybe
Raven
the
Queen
guards,
dead?
maybe the
I
queen.
looked
Yeah,
at it a second time. It look someone's dead. Yeah, I see someone's hand. You can't really see their hair, but they're wearing it
Oh,
all white. Yeah,
My theory is it's a new owner and it's called X now. That's
oh.
my theory as to what happened to the aviator.
No, not that.
And so yeah,
Please.
Charlie nailed who this is in the middle. By the thing, by all accounts, I'm pretty sure. And I thought this. My theory going in was that it was Suave because he recently he ate the spider and stuff happened. Maybe it would replace the handprint and like the flower. He has a like Vega aesthetic to him. I thought that might be it, but it's Charlie. I think your theory is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
for
it's
sure.
The Divinity
I
one.
thought it
What's
was
her
the
name?
Cleopatra, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's
Ryan said
Divinity.
it's not someone we've seen before. It's someone he's
Yeah.
mentioned. It was mentioned once. It was an ally of Juliet, but she was unavailable at the time. So I'm kind of thinking this is my theory. She was definitely not right, but she could have been an ally of them. She's kind of turned to the wrong side for some reason, and maybe she's the killer of the Raven Queen, or she's connected in this whole thing for some reason.
Ooh.
So yeah, that could be something. But yeah, they also could be completely separate. But yeah, I can't wait for Alienator.
The quill
That'll be
spills over
badass.
into that panel
Yeah.
too. I noticed too. So maybe they're connected. I don't know if
Mm.
that's on purpose or if it could just be fancy artwork popping off, or maybe that could be like I don't know the Raven Queen's X or
Could
something like
be.
that. Even for all we know, or who
Yeah,
knows?
that
It
could
could be a
be.
past.
That could
Like
be.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
very
There's a lot going
fitting.
on. Alienator's
Yeah.
design is sweet. It looks like it reminds me of like the
Oh my
gorillas
God.
from Dragon Ball Z or something. Like it
Dude,
looks like a hairless gorilla that could like beat your ass. Like I can't wait. If we
With
go
the
where I think we're
dreads
going,
too. Like he's got the dreads too. Like he's got
yeah.
like
It's like Predator and
yeah,
Battle
like
Beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
the name it's like Alien and Predator, except we're not going to
Yeah.
combine the two in AVP Requiem and piss off everybody.
Do you,
No,
do you guys think we're going off world to see Alienator? Are we going to see Alien? Are we going off world to another planet next arc?
I feel like another plane is more reasonable than planet,
Another
but
plane.
either way, I'd be like even if it was on Earth,
I'm just wondering
in.
about Alienator. Like we saw him obviously, like I believe, yeah, it was Caleb. He said, "Oh, if anyone doesn't want to stay, if you're interested in anything else, you can go." We saw him fuck off right away. He just went off. He jumped away. So it's I'm curious where he is. Maybe he's settled on the moon. He's chilling on the moon. He's got his own thing going on. So yeah, who
Maybe he's
knows?
looking for Battle Beast.
Yeah,
Looking for a worthy
maybe.
fight.
Oh, that would be such a duo. That would, oh man.
well, Ryan said in our interview, not to spoil the whole interview, go and watch that because there's a lot of good stuff in there. He said that he wrote something that one of the characters was doing or some event or something, and that's what he was going to have Alienator doing or whatever.
Yeah, I looked back, I couldn't find anything. I looked back right when he escaped, and I couldn't find anything obvious. But I'm sure it will be obvious once we find out what the reason is. Like
we're going to call the Owens and the Parkers of the world to figure this out for us. I think figure those guys will get it figured out in like a day or two. But yeah, definitely stuff to look forward to. This series, freaking amazing. I mean, I think it's a gold standard on how you do these supernatural kind of stories. There's no bullshit. The dialogue coming back in May. It's Infernals in the meantime. I don't mean to be a shill, but that book is amazing and well worth your time. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with that when you get that in your hands. And then we'll figure out some more Rogue Sun stuff going forward for sure. We got a lot to speculate on.
Hell yeah.
So please like and subscribe to our show. Please support Rogue Sun and pick up the book. And check out Infernals if you're a fan of Ryan Parrott, or even if you're a fan of this book. It's a lot similar in some of the themes explored, but through a much more adult lens and a lot more devils.
Way more adult lens.
Yeah.
It's great.
We have a giveaway for a Rogue Sun number 12 incentive. I forget who did the cover, so forgive me for that. But is an incentive variant of Rogue Sun number 12, signed by Ryan Parrott. It's if you watch our interview with Ryan Parrott, you'll see the book there. We put it up. All you have to do is comment on any one of our videos. Just leave a comment who your favorite rogue in Rogue Sun is. And if you buy Infernals and you tag us on social media with your copy of Infernals on Valentine's Day, we will enter you as a double chance. So you get 2 entries into the giveaway. And considering there's not too many people in our giveaways, that gives you a really good shot. So, guys.
Your chance are as good as like a seagull getting picked for the sunstone or like a bell. Like it's pretty good. So like, definitely get in on that if you love Rogue Sun. And if you're listening this far, and I imagine you got a hankering for Rogue Sun. So
it's worth it for sure. Definitely take advantage. You got some good odds. To get some pretty good stuff for sure. So
exactly.
Definitely join into that. And I cannot pronounce the last name, but the cover's Carla Wyzgala. WYZ Gala. So that's the cover. It's a beautiful cover. So it's a good one.
So the reason we're not showing it is because Ali has the cover and we couldn't make it. So he couldn't make it to this episode, so we gotta put it up. But it's signed by Ryan Parrott. It's beautiful.
It exists. It's not like my girlfriend in Canada, guys. Like, come on.
It's real. And then guys, just leave a comment on any one of our episodes. Who's your favorite rogue in Rogue Sun? And we'll enter you in the giveaway. Giveaway is US, Canada only. And so please like and subscribe. Check us out. Check out the Radiant Black podcast if you have it, where we talk about another Massiveverse book from Radiant Black. And please check out the Infernals. It is really good. And we're not just saying that because we're parrot heads. No, but we really like it. Okay. Anyways, we'll see you guys. Oh, yeah. So one last announcement is obviously Rogue Sun podcast is still going to go. And we're obviously going to do things between now and May. We're not just going to take a break. We're going to review Infernals number 1, and who knows, if you guys like it, and if you see it gets some good traction, we'll review all of the Infernals from then till Rogue Sun's back, and we'll also have some Rogue Sun events coming up, so maybe we'll do a trivia or maybe a tier list. Actually, tier list for sure.
We got lots of characters. We haven't ever done one for Rogue Sun, have we?
No, we've done Massiveverse. We've never done one for Rogue Sun.
We did you guys did a Massiveverse. I think that was right before I joined you guys.
But we've gotten so many Rogue Sun characters.
So
it's gonna be like so much better.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So Rogue Sun tier list, guys. That'll be something to look forward to. And then give us some ideas if you have other Rogue Sun events you want us to do. We also had a Rogue Sun key issue list that we're gonna do, but that'd be a short video. But we still do it because it's fun.
And also, if you want to support the podcast, easiest way to do it is to write us an honest review just on wherever your pods are cast, and that really helps us in the algorithm and get our name out there. So thanks for listening and shining on our podcast.
Yep. We'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Go Rogue.